Speaking of agents of chaos, we got Ice Spice, who's
Oh.
actually opening her mouth in an attempt to say anything of substance. Um, Apparently, Ice Spice believes that we live in a misogynistic world, and that is
Oh.
why people like her have to do what they do in order to get opportunities in the entertainment industry is due to misogyny.
Mm.
So Ice Spice doing what she does has nothing really to do with her own personal moral compass, but rather because our society is misogynistic, and so that's
Oh.
why she does what she does. So don't let me speak for her. I'll let her speak for herself. This says Ice Spice admits she gets jealous of how easy men have it in a misogynistic world. Ice Spice says we live in a misogynistic world and discussed how breaking into the entertainment industry has given her a new perspective on how difficult it is to make it as a woman.
Mm.
Speaking with Rolling Stone, she argued that women have to be hot in order to land the necessary opportunities. The conversation began with her discussing her performance of her hit track Fat Butt at the BET Awards. I used to judge other artists' awards show performances, she confessed. I'd be like, oh, that was awkward. Why the F would they do that? Why was she looking there? She added. When you're doing it yourself, you're like, okay, this is a lot. There are like 10 different cameras, there are cues, and everything is just so much. But it's fun though. At the end of the day, when it's over, it's fun. From there, Spice discussed the differences between genders in the music industry. We do
Mhm.
live in a misogynistic world where it's like you have to be breathtakingly hot to get certain opportunities, she said. I was born as a woman and raised as a woman, so I only know this lifestyle. But I could just imagine how easy it is for guys. She added that she even gets jealous of the men on her team from time to time. I am very jealous when the men on my team get to sleep an extra 5 effing hours because they don't have glam, she remarked. Spice's interview with Rolling Stone comes after she dropped her debut studio album Y2K last month. Elsewhere in the interview, she discusses working with Taylor Swift, her feelings towards Maddie Healy, and more. So be on the lookout for blah 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 when it comes to Ice Spice. So Ice Spice wants to set the record straight. She believes we live in a misogynistic world, and women have to do all of these other things in order to capitulate to get on. Men don't have to do nearly as much. What's your take on what she had to say? Do you buy any of that?
So let me get this straight. So she's just complaining that she's got to do glam and she just got to do a whole bunch of stuff to just look prettier than she actually does. So she's just mad she got to do these extra steps. Is that what she's
That's
saying?
not how that's not how I interpret it, but that
Mm.
is what she said. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, so I mean, I don't know. I really don't know where she's coming from in the sense that, well, the only reason why, if she wants to say that this is a misogynistic world, well, that's the only reason why she's relevant. You wouldn't have money if it wasn't a misogynistic world. So, what are you talking about?
I don't
You
think
know,
she understands that. That
yeah.
yeah.
So that's the part about it. It's like, girl, what do you mean? So, is the world misogynistic? Um, Misogynist is such a strong word, man. But is it a man's world? Uh, yeah, it's men are running things, at least on the surface, and so it does come across that way. Uh, and but I really can't side with her and the fact that this is what makes her job difficult. She wouldn't even exist um, if men weren't OnlyFans subscribers. And so because we have these men out here that are propping her up and gassing her up in comment sections, and the bops in the world who idolize bopism, which is only a byproduct of this misogyny she's talking about. Again, every angle that she wants to look at this or slice it, the misogyny is getting her paid. So she wants to also turn around and say, well, it's fun. Yeah, I know you like this. So what are you really complaining about? So I think with her, I think she's just a confused person. Every time I see her, it just looks like they go, "Hey, stand over there and shake your ass." And he said, or whenever somebody asks you a question that you can't answer, just shake your ass. And she does that, and she does it. She does it well. In the sense that oh snap, I'm in trouble. Let's twerk. And because I think Kai Cenat had her on the show, and he was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Bust a freestyle." She couldn't bust a freestyle. Even if it was a pre-written, don't ask her to rap on demand right now. She's going to stutter and stammer over everything. She's not a rapper, so she just turned around and started shaking her behind. And yeah, her money maker. And who's paying for a woman to shake her behind? Who's paying for a sexual object? Nothing but these misogynistic men. So yes, there are men on set that are making good money being in the shadows and not having to do as much work. That's probably why she's jealous. That's probably the jealousy that she's talking about. They don't have to exploit themselves in order to get paid. So that's the part about it that she's saying that she's a little envious of. But again, man, when she's cashing these checks, she's crying in her Ferrari. So I don't really empathize with this at all. I feel like it's a half baked take. I don't really think she knows what she's talking about, to be honest. But I got more to say. But what are your thoughts on Miss Ice Spice saying that this whole world's misogynistic, and she's jealous of of men, I guess. What are your thoughts?
She read from the modern liberal. First of all, I don't think she's that smart.
Yeah,
So I think she believes everything she says because she's
Ice Spice.
like everyone is pre everybody is pre-programmed to believe that everything is the result of misogyny, the patriarchy, and racism. So
Yeah.
it's a playbook, and it's an
Yeah.
easy playbook to recite.
Hmm.
So, her saying that is no different than if someone asked her a question and she were to say, I think we've come a long way in the world, but there's still a lot of racism in the world.
Hmm.
It's an easy thing to say. It's the playbook. So her talking about how everything is misogynistic comes from the playbook. But I concur with what you said. Um, Misogyny, if you are willing to subscribe to the notion that it is as rampant as it actually is the reason why she's rich, is the reason why she's on.
Yeah.
So when she talks about how women have to go the extra mile in order to make it in the entertainment industry because of misogyny,
Hmm.
she also ought to understand that the only reason why she is even in the entertainment industry is due to misogyny.
Yes.
Because the way that she parades herself as an artist, in terms of her prostitution rap, not my words, those are the words of people like Nikki D, who look at her live performances and characterize them as prostitution rap. You can't make it in an industry where you can be a prostitution rapper if not for misogyny, because the same tenets of misogyny are the reason why people are willing to consume what you're doing.
Hmm.
So you're actually benefiting Ice Spice from the misogyny that you claim is problematic. You
Yes.
know, so but then again, and I don't mean to belittle her. I don't think that she is. I don't think that she has the mental wherewithal to truly understand that. I think that she is on the surface and she is going to recite a typical playbook because that's all she knows. When
Hmm.
in doubt, everything is always due to misogyny slash the patriarchy or racism. So just default to blaming one of those three things because it's the easiest thing to do.
Hmm.
So it is what it is. But my whole thing about it is, if you truly have an issue with it, then don't be a conformist. Be
Right.
who you think. Be who you want to be.
Right.
Be who you want. And this is my thing with this. Like cry me a river with this BS. These people are liars. And they really expect they really expect this it goes, and see, this goes deep for me.
Hmm.
This is the level of intellect and mental capacity that these individuals maintain as an expectation for the people who listen to this music. They really do think that people are dumb enough to believe this stuff. So like the people who make this music and the agents who step in front of a microphone to perform this music really have such low expectations of the people who consume it that they think that they can say stuff like this and everybody's going to believe it. So for all y'all out here who love this music so much and idolize these artists so much, you need to keep that in mind when it comes to how much credibility you are willing to afford these agents, these individuals, because they really do expect you to believe this stuff that they peddle out here in these magazines and these interviews and these podcasts and on these TV shows. Like they expect you to believe this stuff, yo. Like number one, she's benefiting from the patriarchy that she claims to hate so much. Number two, be who you want to be. Like if you really do have a problem with it, be your own artist. You know, grow your hair out, be who you want to be, make the kind of music you want to make. No one is stopping you from doing that.
Right.
But she's probably signed to some kind of slave contract which
She is.
stipulates that she has to make this kind of music.
She is.
And she willfully signed up for this because she just wanted to get money and be popular.
She did.
So whose fault is that? That's that's misogyny's, that's misogyny's fault. Is that so? Because you signed this slavery contract that has you out here mindlessly twerking for the masses, that's
Yes.
misogyny's fault. Like you could have signed another deal, Ice Spice, but you don't have a mind of your own because you're a conformist, and you allowed your handlers to advise you to sign yourself up for this madness. And now you're caught in this hamster wheel.
Yep.
And maybe at night, when, as you put it, she's crying in her Ferrari, she has a moment of atonement and she decides that she wants to give, interviews like this, where
Hmm.
she talks about how we live in a misogynistic world. Well, who signed themselves up to be victimized by this misogyny? You could have done something different. This gives me Coi Leray vibes, where Coi
Yeah.
Leray said, "I'll be a better rapper or a lyricist or not rap about my vagina all the time if I felt like the people wanted to hear that. The people do want to hear that. You're making that kind of music because you want to.
Correct.
Don't smoke. Come on, man. Stop thinking that everybody's an idiot who's going to believe this nonsense. And she's peddling nonsense
Yeah.
because she has full faith and credit in her belief that people are believing this. And unfortunately, there's going to be a sizable enough percentage of the people who do buy it, but by and large, people should not believe this. She is not a victim of anything. Misogyny does not have a boot beneath her, or rather over her. She is not being, held hostage. She's doing what she wants to do. She wants to get a whole bunch of followers on social media, get a whole bunch of likes and comments. She wants to be an influencer and get her endorsement deals. She wants to be on stage twerking it up. She wants to make her money so she can wear her big, blood diamond chains. She wants to do all of these things
Yep.
because her culture has impressed upon her that that's what freedom means. So she's going to do these things because to her, that's what self actualization is. And misogyny is not keeping her from that. She is. She made that call. So she needs to get over it and stop crying me a river. Get out of here with this. These people really do amuse me. They
Yeah.
really do. They amuse me wholeheartedly. And I just hope for the sake of the world that people do not listen to her when she says nonsense like this.
Well, I tell you, it has some type of feeling of the Kamala Harris thing that we was talking about earlier, in the sense that it's targeting women. They want women to download her stuff. So her garbage album is out. I heard it's 10 tracks, 23 minutes. Eesh. And yeah, bro. And so her album's out. So she's trying to connect with women who agree that it's a misogynistic world. And so it's a buzzword. I don't think I ever hear her use the word misogynistic again. And I don't think she's ever used it before this. So I think this is just part of her PR launch, her getting out there and trying to galvanize the other women that are sex workers, and try to get them to go, hey, yeah, this is a misogynistic world, ladies. I'm a victim of it too, you know. And I think she's trying to garner some sympathy for this, but not from men. I think they're trying to get women aside for her because she needs her own form of hotties or baddies or Barbies because nobody's out here spicing it. So yeah, so she needs her people behind her. But I gotta tell you, I think this is one of the most obvious industry plants in history. I think she's going to go down top five next to Vanilla Ice and others, where basically the only reason why we even know of her is because of the labels pushing her. I'm sure she signed some ridiculous 360 deal where the record label is literally doing this with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And all right, go out there, hang out with Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. Okay. And this is the first time meeting Taylor Swift, y'all. But hey, here she is hanging out with Taylor Swift. Hey, why don't you go to this performance over here and make sure you shake that ass of yours. And she's like, okay. That's Ice Spice. I take Ice Spice as very submissive. Okay, I'll do it. What do you want me to do? I'll do it. Real bottom B behavior. And so she's perfect for the industry. She's doing whatever they wanted. But the cool part about the bad the downward streams that we covered not too long ago, and the fact that her album isn't doing so good is that people aren't buying it. And that's the part about this that I like, because this would have knocked people over the head in 2016, 2017. And she would have had her own form of baddies or Barbies if this came out 6 years earlier. But I think that people are a little bit wiser now, and they understand that she's just an act. So yeah, she's just saying anything at this point, grasping at straws. I didn't even know she had opinions.
She
and,
doesn't.
and that
She doesn't have opinions.
yeah,
She doesn't have opinions. That was a robotic answer. It's like I said, misogyny, racism, patriarchy,
yeah,
rinse and repeat.
yeah, because
That she doesn't have a mind.
even her explanation of it, in the sense that she's got to do 5 hours of glam and other guys on her team are sleeping, like, big whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think Beyonce does? You know, but I guess, again, it's a misogynistic industry, so she's got to look like that. Yeah, look, let's stop it. Yeah, let's stop it. And last thing I'll talk about is that, yes, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll say this for myself, the word misogyny is a wild word. I really don't get down with it, but the notions of patriarchy that people like to allude to, there is truth to that, and it is all over the place, and it is in every industry, and it is in all this is happening. Yes, that is a thing, and I do think there needs to be more balance when it comes to fair, like real balance, like not just because men are doing it, women can do it. Like actual counterbalancing stuff. I feel like the world does need more of that. So when people do bring up these points, there is a point to it, whenever they call it out. But much like how you said, like with the racism stuff, there's stuff to that. But, there's also a degree of, what role are you playing in this? And, or are you just defaulting to victimhood isms? And I think that with women, their racism is misogyny. So they use that word for whenever they're being done wrong or feel unjust. So that is their buzzword. And so there is truth to it. But again, this is like somebody who signed a deal to literally wear blackface as a black person, wear blackface and watermelon going crazy and stuff like that, and say, I live in a racist world, guys.
Exactly.
And it's like, oh, well, you live in a racist world, but you sitting around here doing all this racist stuff. Actually, you're making it worse for future generations. So if you're against misogyny, as she proclaims to be, then you are actually an agent of it. And you are actually helping promote and perpetuate it. But it's fun, ladies.
That's what I'm saying. She doesn't know what she said.
Boy,
That's my that's my point of contention. Like,
mm-hmm.
she doesn't even realize what she said. Like,
Yeah,
she doesn't understand that her entire persona as a musical artist is the
oh,
perpetuation of that misogyny that she
yes,
claims to be a victim of.
yes,
Um, and so
yes,
that's the problem that I have with people who make comments like that. It's not what she said, it's who said it. And the
Yep.
fact that I am 100% convinced that she has no idea what the hell she's talking about.
Bro, we
She
really
was able she was able to default to a playbook of
yes.
everything is about X, Y, and Z
Yes.
because she can. Because why combat that? In the world today, if you criticize that, it means that you're on the side of the thing that everyone's fighting against. You don't
Yeah.
want to be a bad guy, therefore you cannot criticize those comments.
Yes. And so yeah, man, 100%, bro. We really need a swooping graphic that right message, wrong messenger. And yeah, this is another situation of wrong messenger, lady. Like you're literally out there. If there's a war against women, you are literally on the front lines of the opposing team destroying women. And so you can't sit here and cry foul. And then in the same breath say it's fun. Girl, you lost.
Yeah,
Hey, good luck.
yeah,
Good luck, Ice
yeah.
Spice.
Yeah,
With
I
all of
don't I
this
don't
stuff.
understand. Yeah, these people really are pathological with the drinking of their Kool-Aid. It's insanity. It really is crazy, you know. But it is what it is. I think to me, the main takeaway from this situation is accountability number one. But like, stop listening to these people. stop stop listening to them. They don't make sense with what they say. And those comments on the surface will trigger somebody who truly does look at the world through that lens of everything is misogyny. So it'll be easy for them to latch on to it like, yeah, go ahead, Ice Spice.
Right.
But these are moronic comments made, in my opinion, by a moron of a person who who doesn't understand her place in the world and how she contributes to the things that she claims to complain about.
Hey man, the spice rack is gonna come after you for saying that one, man. Is that what they call her people? The spice rack.
Hey, it's all good, man. We get more and more subs every week. I ain't tripping. I don't think this. I don't think the Spice Rack is watching any of our videos.
Hey, Spice Rack, if y'all watching, man, hit like and subscribe, man. We do this every Tuesday. Spice Rack.
Oh God.